So you're thinking of buying a home in Hamilton, Ontario, but you don't want to overpay, especially because there's a bit of uncertainty in the real estate market with us not knowing if prices are actually going to go up, down, if the interest rates are going to stay stagnant, if they're going to increase or decrease, and if inventory is going to improve, because we all know that the inventory for housing has been at critical low levels. Well, in this video, I'm going to break down the difference between overpaying versus overbidding, how you could avoid both, and how you could save you and your family thousands of dollars. Be sure to stay tuned. My name's Tish Schoberg, and I'm a licensed real estate agent in Hamilton, Ontario. And if you're looking to move to the Hamilton area, I'd love to help. I get inquiries all the time from people just like you with a ton of questions about Hamilton, the real estate market, and what's it like living here. So be sure to reach out. I'd love to help. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on post notifications, like, share, comment. Let's get into it. So first, let's get into overbidding. So overbidding is when a seller has priced their home below market value and below the price that they actually want for the home, with the intention on having buyers pretty much bid for the home, very similar to an auction, on a particular night, so that they have the option of pretty much accepting the best offer on their home. So they typically choose the offer that has the best purchase price, the best terms, and the best closing date. So this strategy is very typical for a seller's market, but we've seen it in more balanced markets as well as even in buyer's markets. And typically the home is priced about 20% below market value, but we've even seen homes priced as low as $1 to try to stir up the interest, the number of showings, and essentially the number of offers. This process could be very frustrating for buyers because you have no idea what the other offers are coming in at. So it's hard to kind of gauge what you should offer in terms of terms, pricing, closing date, and all you can do is really put your best foot forward. And the only people that are going to know what the offers come in at is the seller and their listing agent. And that's just due to privacy reasons in real estate. So what we've been doing to ensure that our buyers are purchasing the home at its true market value is doing a comparative analysis of the home to ensure that we're not overpaying for the home, because you don't want to be caught overpaying, which I will get into shortly, but it's okay to overbid beyond the asking price. So you really shouldn't be that concerned with overbidding for a home, because quite honestly, it's very common in the Hamilton real estate market. And as long as you're not overpaying for the home, you should be okay. Next, let's get into overpaying. So overpaying is when you're purchasing a home beyond its market value and beyond its appraisal value. So when financing a home, it's not that big of a concern because there are certain lenders that can actually finance you more money depending on the interest rates that they're giving and depending on the incentives that they're offering. But if you are paying cash, it could definitely be a concern because you have to make sure that you can come up with that full cash amount. And for buyers that are financing, there could also be a significant gap if you pay too much for the home. So sometimes the lender won't even fully cover the amount that you purchased for the home, so you have to come up with the cash yourself. So there's so many different scenarios that could happen when you're overpaying for a home. And there's going to be some tips that I'm going to give on ways that you can avoid that. But overpaying sometimes is very common when buyers get very emotionally tied to a home. And with the bidding strategy approach that I just spoke about, typically buyers do pay a little bit over market value because their emotions get involved, their ego gets involved, they know they're competing with other people, so they want to have that win mentality. And that's why it's so important to work with a good real estate agent who can coach you through that process, educate you on what the home's market value is, so you know what scenario you're in, you know whether or not you are overpaying for the home, and if you feel comfortable with that purchase price that you're putting in for the home. So we definitely don't recommend that investors overpay for a home, because you want to make sure your carrying cost is as low as possible, with the potential of having that nice positive cash flow, or at least neutral cash flow. So you want to keep your purchase price as low as possible, and your rental price as high as possible, so that your carrying costs are fully covered. For end users, overpaying is okay as long as you're not overpaying a significant amount more for the home. And as long as you know that you're able to still close off on the home, afford the home, get a mortgage for the amount that you need. And you know, if you're gonna stay in the home long term, so 5, 10 plus years, then you have to understand that if you are overpaying even $50,000 for the home, you're going to get back that money and the equity you get from the home as it appreciates in value over the next couple of years. So you really have to ask yourself if you truly are overpaying for the home, right? Especially if it's a home that's really desirable, if you guys are really picky with a specific list of items that you want for your home. And you know, sometimes it could be difficult to find your ideal home, and once you do, sometimes it's worth it to spend another $10,000, $20,000, because in the end, what is that really going to cost you as your home appreciates in value anyways, right? It's not really going to cost you that much over time. So just something to consider. And especially in the Ontario real estate market, we've been seeing a trend of home prices pretty much doubling every 10 years. And if that continues to happen over the next decade, then what's an extra $15,000, $20,000 on a home? It's really not that much of a difference, right? So in certain scenarios, it's okay to slightly overpay, but you really have to assess the situation, see the house that you're getting, work the numbers to see if you're okay with it. And there's definitely some things that you can do to prevent that from happening. Now I'm going to get into the tips on how you can stop overbidding and stop overpaying for homes. So the first thing is to see the home as soon as possible. So going on realtor.ca, going on all these third-party websites to find homes is okay, but you're not going to get the first initial information on the home and that first notification of the home coming to market if you're not working with a realtor who's sending you those listings directly from the MLS board. The MLS board is the quickest way to get information on a home that just hit the market, and the quicker you're able to see it, the quicker you're able to avoid having a bidding war, because typically as soon as a home enters the market, a lot of people don't know about it. People are at work, people are busy with their family and friends, so sometimes it takes some time for people to actually see the home. And if you're able to get in there before a lot of other buyers, your chances of losing out on a bidding war are significantly lower. Plus, some homes that are actually set for a bidding war where that price is significantly lower, they do sometimes accept what is called preemptive offers. So that's very important, because if they do accept preemptive offers, guess what? You don't have to wait until the specific date of when they intend to hold offers. So you could actually put in an offer before everybody else and try to negotiate and get that ideal purchase price for your home. So, you know, being able to just get in that home as soon as possible, put in that offer if you think it's a great offer, if you think it's a great home, if they accept those preemptive offers, could be a huge advantage to winning your dream home. The second tip is to buy when competition is low. So again, that's really touching on getting into that home as soon as possible and making sure that you're, you know, not taking too long to decide to put in an offer on a home, because you're maybe somebody's definite yes, I want that home. So as soon as you know that that home checks all the boxes you're looking for, don't take too long to decide. Don't take too long to review the paperwork. Just sign it. You know, trust your realtor and make sure that you're able to lock in your desired home. Another thing I do want to mention though is, you know, a way to really avoid having other buyers compete with you with a home is to put your best offer first. So sometimes we want to lowball an offer, but then that leaves room for negotiation for the seller to question, you know, whether they want to accept that offer. So it can delay the process. And as that process is delayed, and as you guys take longer to negotiate, it gives room for other buyers to come in and offer more for the home and get the home while you're kind of going back and forth. So it's always best to put your best foot forward, your best offer, and that will increase your chances of getting your offer accepted and avoiding the competition. The third tip I have is to hire the right realtor. I don't know how on earth buyers are going into this market purchasing homes without a realtor. There's only a very few amount of buyers that do that, but I strongly recommend against doing that. I think that you really need a strong realtor who knows the local market to help you navigate the buying process, especially because you want to ensure that what you're paying for the home is actually the true value if you don't feel comfortable overpaying, right? So you want to ensure that when you're putting an offer on a home, that it's actually, you know, an offer that makes sense based on comparables, because that's what the banks are looking at too when they're giving you that mortgage amount, right? So whenever I put in an offer for any of my buyer clients, I always make sure that the price that we're offering is in line with what market value is for the home. That way they avoid overpaying for the home unless they want to overpay for the home. They know the risks that are involved with overpaying. I always educate them. But you know, just making sure you're working with a realtor who can help you to navigate what you should offer for the home is so important, especially in this market. A lot of the homes that we're seeing listed, you know, some of them are not selling anywhere near the list price. And some of the sold prices that are even on these websites are not correct. But a local realtor, a local strong realtor, can ensure that they are looking on the MLS board, they're looking at recent comparables, and they're able to give you the most recent information, the most accurate information to ensure that you are comfortable with the amount that you're offering on your home. So again, don't forget I am a realtor, so if you're interested in getting more information on the Hamilton area or your real estate needs, I'd love to help. Feel free to reach out. My fourth tip is understanding market value. So you want to ensure that, you know, the home that you're purchasing in aligns with the values of that particular market. So within the Hamilton area, prices do range significantly depending on the area. Like Central Hamilton, we have detached homes that are going for like the 500 range, whereas similar size homes in Ancaster are priced significantly more, like 800,000 plus. So you want to make sure that you're understanding what you're getting when you're purchasing a home in a particular market in terms of its value, if you're comfortable with the area, and just really comparing the different locations. And this is very common. So prices do vary a lot in these large metropolitan cities like Hamilton, Toronto, and so forth. So just making sure that your realtor is helping you to do the research on home values within the area can really help to ensure that you're buying the home that you want in the area you want, and will also help in ensuring that you're not overpaying, because you might be comfortable buying a home in a bit less of a desirable area because you're going to be saving like $200,000, right? So you really want to make sure that you understand the market value, understand what you're getting in different areas of the city. My fifth tip is to get pre-approved for a mortgage before you start home shopping. Even if you intend on paying cash, you still want to make sure that you have a pre-approval in place just in case you decide to slightly overpay and you decide in the future to take out a small mortgage on the home. So it's always important to get that pre-approval in place prior to home shopping. Just like on Black Friday and Boxing Day, you don't want to start shopping without your wallet. It's the same type of concept. You don't want to go home shopping without knowing exactly what you'd be approved for from your bank or lender. It is extremely important and could help to save you a ton of headache. So I cannot emphasize this enough. I get inquiries all the time from people who are just looking to go home shopping, and I'm like, that's not how it works. Where's your pre-approval? Like, we need to know what you are qualified for. You might be qualified for more home than you think, or even less home than you think. So we need to adjust our search criteria to meet what you can afford. and what you feel comfortable paying. So getting a pre-approval is super important and probably one of my best tips to give. 6 is to be cautious of waiving conditions and terms. So when you're in a bidding war, it can be very easy to put your emotions first and put logical decisions last. It happens all the time. This is why I say in real estate, you need a coach. You don't buy real estate without a realtor, because your realtor is your coach. They're here to bring you back to reality so that you're making the right decision for you and your family. Obviously, at the end of the day, it's you who's buying the home. The decision is really yours on what you decide to do, but you want to make sure that you have somebody there who's not involved in the buying process and the decision-making process to guide you in making the right decision. And that's your realtor, that's your real estate coach. So making sure that you're including certain terms such as inspection and, you know, condition of financing is ideal. But I know sometimes with bidding wars, you can't include those conditions because your chances of getting the home with those conditions very much begin to get very, very low when you're dealing with that many offers. But if you really want a good home, want to make sure that you're, you know, putting forth an inspection clause so that you have that reassurance that you're not overpaying for the home with potential repairs that might be needed, or you're just double checking that you're going to be approved for the amount that you purchase with that financing condition. Always ideal, always the best thing to do. So that's always a strong recommendation of mine. And 7 is to create a personal connection with that seller. So it's very important to ensure that your realtor is asking what the seller's motivation is, what their ideal closing date is, what their ideal terms are, so that you're gauging their level of flexibility with the price that they're looking for, and gauging their motivation so you know what to put in the offer. It's also a good idea to include a personal letter, just letting them know how much you love the home, how much you want to continue to upkeep the home, some of the features you love about the home to really make your offer stand out. Video message is also a great way to ensure that your offer stands out. So, you know, providing that personal connection piece is huge in making your offer stand out and preventing you from overpaying and overbidding. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, turn on post notifications, and don't forget, overbidding versus overpaying. You know, there's so many pros to buying in this market, but you definitely want to be cautious when bidding, and you definitely want to be even more cautious when overpaying. Till next time.